checking out the signals for the Baltimore Colts. Unitas gives to Amici. The Colts are the world champions. Amici scores.
It's amazing, sensational, dramatic, heart-rending, exciting, thrilling finish in the history of college football. California won the big game.
5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes.
This is Phil Steele.
This is Mike Burnham.
This is Wes Durham.
This is Mike Ashley.
Hi, this is Chuck Foreman, number 44 of the Minnesota Vikings.
Woo, mercy, this is handsome Jimmy Vine, the Boogie Woogie Man.
This is Coach Fry with Virginia Tech Football, and you are listening to Big Dog Sports Talk.
Are you ready to rock? Are you ready to roll? Okay, let's do it.
You're in the doghouse with Rick Watson on Big Dog Sports Talk, presented by Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment. Join us in the Family Fencing Studios and chime in on the McClellan Chiropractic chat line. He's keeping cool with help from Little River Heating and Air, but this show is straight fire. And now, the big dog, Rick Watson.
Rick Watson's got the mic, he's the big dog king. Cover sports so sharp, it's a new river thing. Virginia Tech fire, Radford pride too. Every stat, every play, he's bringing it to you. He's got that voice, deep as a valley, breaking it down, no dilly, no dally. Big dog sports talk, feel the bark, feel the bite. Rick's in the zone, every day, every night, from the Hokies to the Highlanders. He's got the spark, Big dog sports talk, lighten up the dark. He's got the scoop, faster than a sprint. Calling plays like a coach, every word's a hint. From the courts to the fields, the stories unfold. Rick's play-by-play, worth its weight in gold. With a laugh and a growl, he'll pull you in. Big Dog's podcast, let the games begin. Big Dog Sports Talk, feel the bark, feel the bite. Rick's in the zone, every day, every night, from the Hokies to the Highlanders. He's got the spark, Big Dog Sports Talk, lighten up the dark.
We have made it to the end of the week. And not a moment too soon. Hope everybody's doing okay as we are here on the Finally Friday edition. Will Stewart will join us. That'll be at 7 o'clock. Mike Ashley and the open mic. I think he's going to talk a little about Ted Turner.
Lighten up the dark. Big Dog Sports Talk, feel the bark, feel the bite. Rick's in the zone.
Ted Turner. I get it. He's instrumental in our sports television future. What it turned out to be, right? With the Superstation. And Jen in Vegas. Who knows? I will say that my confidence level for Jen has lessened because I haven't heard from her. Firework Friday. I like that. I like Firework Friday. Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Hit us up in the McClellan Chiropractic chat room Also on the Professional Door text line, we'd love to hear from you. That's 391-0788. And it is Friday, which is a good thing. A good thing. What's up, Vic? Good to see you. Yeah, I saw that the Rams playing 7 primetime. The NFL schedule's just gotten ridiculous. They're playing on Wednesday. They're just, just not good. Not good. Hello, Gene. Eugene? Or Mugen X. I'm sorry. You know what I mean. I said hello. Subscribe, like, and share the channel wherever you might be. We want to thank our sponsors. Let's get those folks recognized. Family Fencing, sponsor of our studio, 540-200-8294, familyfencingnrv.com. McClellan Chiropractic, again, right off of Walters Drive, 155 Walters Drive. If you've got a back issue, body issue of any kind, do not hesitate to go see Mark. He's the best, and he's got all the latest equipment. Still need to get over there for my filming here. Big Dog Sports Talk is presented every day by Pulaski County Sports Entertainment. Thank you so much to Jonathan Sweet and Tim Miller. Little River Heating and Air. We had 39 degrees this morning when I woke up. Get your units cleaned up, ready to go. Give Charles Lee a call, 1095 Radford Street, 540-553-2971. And, man, we're going to get to the results of our movie fan question. It was good. It was fun. The attorney Ryan Pry sponsors our fan question of the week. Radford in Radford trusts in estate planning. It's been a long week. National Bank, member FDIC, the exclusive banking partner of me and of this program. Thanks to Lara Ramsey. And we mentioned Travis Williams in Professional Door, commercial residential garage doors, 38 years in business, right across from Community College, a regional business. His dad started it, and Travis has taken it to unbelievable levels of success. It's awesome, and we appreciate that support. ReadySetFund.com. That's Bob Christ, BOBCRST11 at Gmail. Series of text messages, and he'll explain how it works, and you can earn money for your school, team, group, event, church group, whatever it might be. Sundown Electric, they have an excellent reputation, one of the best reputations of any business in our area. From Elliston, thanks to the Smith brothers, some of the most honest people I've heard time and time again. That's why people keep going back to them. Plus, they do great work. The NRV Super Bowls, where we're going to have our bash, 540-382-5525. Reach out to Terry Stike. Check out everything that they're doing, improving your bowling experience all the time. And Lawson's Mobile Home Supply since 1997, 300 North Franklin Street in Christiansburg. Parts for your windows, your plumbing, your doors, your home, whatever you might need. Give James a call, 540-381-8011. So there we go. There we go. What's going on, Stephen? Good to see you. Good to see you. Oh, my goodness. I'm so sorry, Prometheus. He hit his third deer in 8 months yesterday. Well, actually, you know what? They hit us. You know what? You didn't hit them. They hit you. I know, man. I'm so sorry to hear that. There's just so much that you can do. From the PGA front office, wouldn't it be great to see them charge an exorbitant fee to let the Trader LI live golfers back in? Take some of the blood money they earned. But that's just me. BDST is live. Could the PGA Championship have started without any less hype? Even a guy who's not a golf guy usually hears when a major's getting ready to start, or you hear a lot of hype. Did anyone do anything from any of the networks to play up the PGA Championship? And the thing about it, Prometheus, what I don't understand, you know, you raise on a farm, and deer are the most. They are the animal in the wild that tells you what's going on constantly because of their acute senses, the acute sense of smell, hearing. You can be walking through the woods, and if you step on a twig, all of a sudden you see about 5 deer you didn't see run away because they heard it, or they put their nose in the air. But yet, for some reason, they cannot solve the highway. I don't understand why you cannot solve the highway. It makes no sense to me. It makes zero sense to me. You would think the noise, you would think the smell, the vehicles and the humans, you would think that would keep them from jumping out in front of us. But man, it's an epidemic, isn't it? I know we're overpopulated. I hope you're okay. I hope it didn't damage your vehicle. How bad was the damage, Prometheus? That's terrible, man. It's going to happen to me at some point. My dad and I hit a couple during our farm travels. It's going to happen. But I don't know why they can't avoid it. It's strange to me. Hang on, I got my list over here. All right, sorry. Sorry. But I hope you're okay, man. I hope you are okay. Because I know how horrible that can be. I know. Fender, bumper, hood, and light. Good. As long as you're okay, man. Nothing you can do. I remember, Route 100 from Dublin into Pearisburg. That's the way we always went to the farm. And we were coming back from working all day, and it was a nice evening. And I remember we were in Dad's, we were in the truck. And you look on the left side of the road, you saw like 7 deer. And Dad had slowed down. And we said, like, oh, I'm glad we got through that. So as soon as he starts to get back up to normal speed, we look up and there's this big brown body in front of the windshield. The deer had run out from the other side. Big old buck, like a 6 or 8 point buck. It blew up the radiator. It was awful. It was just awful. So our BDST fan question of the week was a lot of fun. And I feel like, it needs to be talked about because this was by far the most votes we've ever had. There were 168 votes total. Different votes from different people. Like, I didn't count the same person twice. 168 votes with our BDST fan question of the week. And I think that's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. But we do have the results. I'm making sure these numbers are correct here. Trying to add it up to make sure I got them all in here. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we got it. Okay, so we're going to go 5-1. This is your favorite movies. These aren't what we think is your vote for the best sports movies. These were the ones you voted for as your favorites. Top 5. I'm going to go 5-1. Number 5 was The Program. How about that? The Program was number 5, and it had 19 votes. How about that? It's fine. The Program's a rewatchable movie. I don't sit around and think about it being one of my favorites, but you know what? I always enjoy it. I get it. I understand. Your favorite movie, sports movie, number 4, Bull Durham. Bull Durham had 26 different votes. So The Program to Bull Durham, football to baseball. Of course, that movie's highlighted by the baseball action for me. I can't stand the Susan Sarandon parts. Was horrible. It's just overdone. But the baseball parts we all remember, the meetings on the field, the Crash Davis story was really cool. In fact, it was in the Appalachian League for us. You know, we appreciate that. Your third movie, this is where it got very interesting. Hoosiers with 36 votes. And what's cool, we had football, baseball, and then basketball. We had all three sports, your first three, 36 votes. And the difference between 2 and 3 was very close. The number 2 favorite movie of the 168 votes, Remember the Titans. Remember the Titans had 38 votes. So from 38, 36, that's how close second and third was. All right. And number 1 was number 1 resoundingly. Let's see if anybody can guess before I tell you. What's up, Christopher Lester? How you doing, brother? Good to see you, man. Family indeed. You're on a Friday. Thank goodness it's Friday. Cheers. To review, the program, number 5. Bull Durham, number 4. Hoosiers, number 3. Remember the Titans, number 2. What do you believe was number 1? It surprised me. Not necessarily that it won number 1, but it won number 1 going away. Major League did not make the top 5. That disappointed me. It's my favorite baseball movie. Let's see. Hang on. The Major League had 17 votes. Major League was right outside of the top 5. Rocky only had 12 votes total. So it's not Rocky, Major League. I'll give you a couple more guesses here. The number 1 sports movie is voted on. 168 votes. That's awesome. Ryan Pry, the attorney, we're gonna have to see about your rate again. Let me go ahead and tell you. I know, Chris. I was very disappointed. Now, I did this 3 different waves yesterday, all right, because it's a lot of addition. It's a lot of going back and making tick marks. So at lunch yesterday at work, I just chilled and I did it there. Then I got home in the evening, late afternoon, went back and double-checked the numbers. And then I did it again last night just to make sure and everything was in order. So, yeah, Rocky, that was disappointing. I'm not going to lie. I was very disappointed. If I tell you the sport, you'll get it immediately, but that's okay. Baseball. Baseball is number 1. Again, the program was 5. Bull Durham was 4. Hoosiers 3. Remember the Titans 2. It's not only when you guess what number 1 was, wait till you see the amount of votes. Wait till you hear the amount of votes they got. You got it, Mr. Lester. Field of Dreams. So again, in order, Field of Dreams, Remember the Titans, Hoosiers, Bull Durham, program. Look, all 5 are fine. I haven't, whatever, it's fine. They're Field of Dreams got, do I have a drum roll? Do I have anything like that? Let's see. Do I have a drum roll or anything? I used to have a drum roll. Oh, here we go. The drum roll. I don't think I realized the drum roll was bongos. All right. Bull Durham was there were 2 baseball movies. The program, Bull Durham, bottom up, 5-4, Hoosiers 3, Remember the Titans 2, Field of Dreams number 1, and, ladies and gentlemen, a resounding number 1, Field of Dreams 63 votes. Not only do you like Field of Dreams, you really like Field of Dreams. Again, it's fine. You're right. My favorite part of the movie, and I was when James Earl Jones jumps in the truck. From that point on, I really liked the movie. I think his character brought it all together. You know, there's a lot of pretentiousness in that movie. James Earl Jones, and then the speech, and just the way I don't know. His presence was perfect in that movie. I'm not dissing the movie. The masses have spoken. We're not like politicians. We're not going to, see the results of actual elections and turn them over. We're not going to have a late night mail dump to inexplicably not ever be explained. You voted, so you win. Your choice. But if I had a choice between the two baseball movies on our list, I'm going to choose Bull Durham. As a matter of fact, maybe other than the program, I would watch the other three before I'd watch Field of Dreams. Remember the Titans and Hoosiers and Bull Durham. So there you have it. That was fun, though. And I do sincerely appreciate everybody who voted. That was a lot. That was cool. That was cool. Very cool. All right, the NFL schedule dump was out. It was annoying. They spent all day releasing certain things. There's a lot more weirdness. We got a Wednesday. The international schedule confirmed. The Rams are on 7 times. Okay. Just line up every week and play the game. It's going to make Sunday Ticket obsolete pretty soon. They're fighting against themselves. I'll keep it because I can't see the Broncos games without it. But we might have to revisit that after this year. We'll see. So we'll talk about that. Maybe bring that up with Mike Ashley as well. We'll wait a little bit until Will Stewart joins us, but I think it was I think Tebow. I don't know if Tebow's here today. He brought it up earlier. The Peter Bork kid committed to Tech yesterday. He had it down to Georgia and Tech. Now, he'd had a prior relationship with James Franklin and O'Brien, the quarterback's coach from there at Penn State. They were recruiting him hard there, so it kind of makes sense. Plus, people were saying that Tech paid 3 times or offered 3 times the money. I mean, you don't know if any of this crap's true. It's the internet. But, it's a high-profile get. But now you've got a very busy quarterback room, and we'll see how everything plays out. And hopefully he comes in and ends up being a difference maker. At that position, you need to find the one guy who's a huge difference maker. And if you can find one, you're going to lose some guys. They're going to lose several guys out of that quarterback room. But at the same time, it doesn't matter long term if you find the guy. Now, how long he stays, who knows? How long anybody stays now, who knows? If this were back in the old way of doing things, people would be all over them, be beside themselves, And I think people are excited. He's got to develop, he's got to come through and become that guy. But we'll see. We'll see. This is probably the deepest quarterback room Tech's had in, oh my goodness, forever. But I think the best news of all this, if you're a Tech fan, they were able to show that they have financial strength in recruiting. And I think that's huge. We know about the money that has been added and the commitment or the recommitment to it. That shows you that they could go in there and whisk this kid into Blacksburg with an overwhelming offer. That's a good sign. And it also shows you too that they're not just spending money flippantly. Like James Franklin, that's one of the things that people have said, that he doesn't just throw out these large contracts like some of these professional sports owners without doing their homework. And we're all, I guess, everybody who's involved in the whole pay for plays, learning budgets and trying to figure out, how you slice it up. So the fact they were able to have that money to do that is, I think, the best news. And you're seeing them listed now more. The word is out. And that was something that wasn't happening. So, you know what? Some programs are going to be able to adapt and benefit. And I think now that there's the recommitment over the last, 8 to 10 months, that Tech so far is benefiting. Having James Franklin be the guy at the head of the snake is certainly helping. But that's a positive vibe, I think, if you're a Tech fan, right? I think that's a very positive vibe. Because now you can no longer say, well, we have no shot at kid X, kid Y because of the money. Well, you got this kid primarily because of the money offer, from what people were saying. And there's nothing wrong with that. This is where we are in collegiate athletics. People always want to – it is what it is. Evolve or die. Darius Nichols was talking about this when all this was starting, a few years ago. I remember him sat down. He said, you either evolve as a coach or you die as a coach. And dying means you resign or get fired, right? And it's a very wise thing. And I would think about matter of fact, I was talking to him yesterday. And we talked about all this. He's at a place like LaSalle, right? Yeah, I know. And I mentioned the relationship, but the money, come on. Let's don't try to pretend like it's not the deciding factor in the end of the day. It is. Yep. Yeah, you're going to lose. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's going to be the addition of a guy that you hope's the franchise guy. That's exactly right, Chris. Exactly right. But now you're going to lose guys that that may end up being as good or better. There's no way the Hunes kid is staying. Let's go ahead and just single him out. There's no way the Baker kid's going to stay. And you've got Grunkenmeyer, who's what? Is it 3 years, right? Has he got 3 years left? So what do you do with him? What if he balls out this year? See, these are now the scenarios you have to look at. And I saw people falling all over themselves because of the commitment. And I know what it means. It's a nice push marketing wise too for Tech, as Chris said. Yeah, they're going to want to play, or as Prometheus said. But you don't know which one ultimately is going to be the best. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I never said they overpaid. I just said they paid. They paid. They paid. Yeah. And they did recruit him to Penn State. Yeah. Yeah. But you're going to lose guys now. And who knows? Nobody knows about any of these guys. All we heard early in camp was how the Hunes kid was, wow, this guy's going to be special. Well, he is not going to be part of your program. Yeah, I'm aware of that, Chris. I know how it works, man. I'm not arguing with you. He got paid a lot more at Tech than he was going to get paid at Georgia. What's up, Vizzies? How are you? Good to see you. To see you. So we'll see what happens after this year. And it's going to be an evolving door at that position. If he ends up coming in, what do you do with Grunkenmeyer? Because he's got 3 years, right? You think Bork's going to sit in Blacksburg if this guy balls out, like I think he's going to, I think Grunkemeier's going to have a good year. Is it going to be worth compromising that? I don't know. This is what coaches have to figure out now today, because I do not believe there's going to be I don't believe there's going to be any kind of cap. I don't think there's going to be any kind of yeah. No, of course he's not going to come out this year. No, he's not going to be ready to come out this year at all. At all. No, this is going to be a big draft. We're taking this in a direction. I'm saying Grunkemeyer, I think he's going to have a good year, and he's going to have – I think Grunkemeyer could potentially be one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the league. I don't think that's far-fetched given what he showed in the Big Ten last year. But I'm more excited. If I'm a Tech fan, I'm a lot more excited about what we have seen from Grunkemeyer at this level in a conference that produced the national championship than I am some high school kid who's got a bunch of stars put beside his name by a service who may or may not have watched any of his games. That's all. Like when they got Grunkemeyer, then I'm thinking, you know what, this is now rocking here. This thing's got a shot, because we saw him play last year against really, really, really good team. Really good teams. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Recruiting's just not the same. And you might, just because you're a fan of a team doesn't mean, or a school doesn't mean it's going to stay this. It's going to be different at the school that you support as opposed to what's going on around the country. These players are in it for themselves. These players are in it for themselves. And that's fine, because for years the system was twisted that it was not for them in any way, shape, or form. That is correct, Danny. Field of Dreams. Yes, on the professional door text line. Field of Dreams, 63 votes. How about that? 63 votes. Yeah, correct. He's the class of 2027. Yeah. Yeah. So that discrepancy really surprised me. 63, because remember the Titans was second at 38. So what's that? 25 votes they won by. And Hoosiers clicked in at 36. But Rocky, not a fact. Rocky was one of those where it started out, some of the early votes, it had like 5 or 6. Yeah. And then it just flatlined. Rocky flatline. Completely flatline. Did not withstand in any way, shape, or form, did not withstand the onslaught of Field of Dreams. My prediction for Arch Manning, he's going to be the most hyped guy coming out for the draft because of who he is. I don't know how good he is. I mean, there have been times he's looked like he could be something, but I don't. If he was Arch Williams, would anybody be talking about him like this? Or is it just because he's Arch Manning? I mean, he didn't really turn around the fortunes at Texas, did he? Didn't they underachieve for a team that was as hyped as they were? Next week's poll question: does this new quarterback recruit actually come to Tech? Yeah, he's got a sign, right? Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that, Chris. Yeah, once you get your guy, you know what? This is like the portal is like. What do you think? It's kind of like finding your franchise quarterback in professional football, like the draft, going out and there's a big free agent battle, which seems to rarely happen as much at the quarterback position because they're being locked up. But if you hit on the draft and your guy is your guy, or if you find a free agent or you trade for one, that's what the portal is, right? The guy you're spending the money on, if he comes in, you're going to have to work to keep him, right? But that's kind of what it is. And there aren't a whole lot of franchise quarterbacks in college football. There's a lot of starters, but that doesn't mean that they're – and that's why I'm excited about Grunkenmeyer. I think he can be a franchise quarterback. I really do. Because we've already seen it. And he knows this offense like the back of his hand. He's got his own people there. So, teaching it, coaching it, and now he's got some personnel. So I think it's going to be a great fit. How many wins it parlays to? I don't know. We're going to try to have Phil Steele on a little earlier this year, sometime in June. We got to talk about his process now. It's the best. It's been traditionally the best preview magazine you can find. But now it all has to change. The way he goes about it, his research, he's got to wait for all the portal dust to settle and all these things. What's up, William? Thank you. Appreciate that. We do what we can. William chimes in. Love your show. I now wake up to it every day like I have my morning cup of coffee. Thanks, William. So yeah. Yeah, I know, Chris. I know. It's funny. I wanted my kids to watch Rocky, so I showed them Rocky, and they were like, "Oh, that's great." And then they watched Creed, and they loved it. And I too. The first Creed in particular, I really like Creed 2 as well. Creed 3 was a nightmare, but the other two are really good. So I was like, okay, that's fine. It's fine. Because Michael B. Jordan nailed a lot of the Carl Weathers spirit. I thought he did a good job. I think the acting he did in Creed was underrated because I think he studied how – I may have seen an interview or read an interview one time. He studied how Carl Weathers had that attitude as the movies progressed. And he was he was his son, so he wanted to have that younger brashness. He was good. Thanks, Matthew. BDST is our morning routine like Sports Center. You're right, man. Yeah, remember we were in college right out of college? Every morning, you just turn it on because it was Sports Center, man. They were going through all this stuff. And it was really cool because they were reporting on sports. There was no political drama. There was no try to yell at people to get other people to get involved. And they go back and forth and spit on each other. It was just, hey, here's what happened last night. Here's the highlights. Right? Maybe you got an interview or two. But yeah. The good old days. Pre-Disney. Pre-Disney. Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, it's going to help with recruiting. It's going to tell these recruits, too, that Tech's got money. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I think that's a message that's being sent, not so subtly, by James Franklin. This is what he's been talking about, right? Everybody getting on board to make sure they have everything they need to have. Yep. Is Tech's level now, Tebow says, at a level it's never been before? from top to bottom, they were at a pretty damn high level during the around the post-championship game appearance era. And it's not the same because that was coming to Virginia Tech because you wanted to be part of Virginia Tech and Frank Beamer and all that. This is a different era now. Recruiting can't be looked at the same. I mean, it's definitely been better, much better than it was under Pry. Let's just say it the way it was. Pry was a disaster as a recruiter. Whether that was because they fumbled away the start of the money era, I don't know. But do you think because of one class that Tech's recruiting is better now than it was during the height of the Frank Beamer era? I don't think so. Because that sustained itself over time. Look, everybody else, y'all can get caught up in the star rankings and all that, but you look at the recruiting classes that Frank Beamer had and how those players turned out. I mean, there are so many NFL guys. So many NFL guys. And we'll see. We shall see. Yeah. They've never recruited this level. I don't know, man. What level are they all of a sudden are they recruiting on? Because they get one player? He's not even the highest rated ranked quarterback to ever come to Virginia Tech. I mean, obviously it's better. It's much better than what we've seen under Brent Pry and really under the last few years of Justin Fuente. But is this really the best that they've ever recruited? All right, Frank developed players. And they were getting star state players, right? The other side of it is, you know, James Franklin doesn't have a strong history developing quarterbacks. If you want to look at it from that development standpoint. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But I'd rather have the bird in hand if I'm a Tech fan. And I think Ethan Grunkenmeyer is that bird in hand. I do. And I hope it's not a situation where he comes in year one and he's playing well, and all of a sudden he has one bad game, and then people are going to be, oh, what about this kid coming? He won't be able to, you know. I guess that's what fans do. That's what fans do. But we'll see. We'll see. We shall see. Will Stewart, Mike, and I don't know about Jen. I don't know. I just don't understand about Jen. Well, we understand about Jen. I think they got there and haven't gotten a response from her. So I'm going to send her the invite. I don't know. You got to keep in mind at Vegas right now, in Vegas, it's 3:45. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. He's got – oh, no. Hang on a second. Creed's got who's unhappy? I'm not unhappy. Hang on. All right, so I had to intervene right there. Sorry, y'all. All right, so Creed. Real life. So Creed's at the door. He's got a baby rabbit just now. This just happened. And I can see it. But I don't know. That bothered me. So I freed the rabbit. Rabbit's mom's right out there. He got and I'm usually not like that, but he hadn't heard it to the point to where he's mad at me. But the thing was, I don't know. So that's what that was. Sorry. Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. I had to free the rabbit. He had not broken the skin. But he was bringing it in. He wanted to bring it in the house. So I opened the door. He tried to bring it in the house. The rabbit on its own got free, so I just grabbed Creed and kind of whisked the little guy outside, and now he's mad at me. So that's what that was. Exactly, man. And it was squealing. I normally don't intervene because it's nature, but I did this time. Sorry, bud. Hey, what's up, Dwight Vick? Good to see you. We will know Virginia Tech is back when the team is consistently winning and dominating in conference. Right now, this current roster hasn't won anything, and everyone has something to prove. Yes. Correct. We're off to a great start with recruiting and establishing culture. Marlon Perkins says, thank you, Jim. Yeah, he's not happy, man. He's not happy. The dude he's unreal. He's relentless. He's the Boba Fett, the bounty hunter. I mean, he comes through. He comes through. Wow. It's exhilarating. Poor little guy. But it was when he ran out, got to his mom, and then they took off running together. So sorry, everybody. Sorry about that. Oh, exactly, Chris. That's what yeah. Casual fans are going to just look to replace. He has one bad game. Exactly. No problem, Coach Elmo. Thanks for my patience this week with his computer. No problem, man. Segment went great yesterday. Appreciate you. We all appreciate you, Coach Elmo. You're great. You are great. Yeah, he got drafted in the third round. Yep. But he hasn't produced one starting quarterback that lasted or was very good. I mean, it's just a fact. Everybody acts like you say something factual about James Franklin. It's an attack. That's not. But acting as if he can do no wrong. That the hero worship is the part to me that's just like, wow. How many games has he won? Yeah, he's like Cole Trickle, relentless with some dirt around his face. Yeah. That was crazy, man. Yeah, listen to him. Can you hear him? Yeah, you hear him back there? He wants back out. I wanted to give the little guy and his mom a head start, buddy. That's why I brought you in. All right, hang on. I don't think it was ever stated that Franklin had not put talent in the NFL. Right. So one thing gets twisted into something else, whatever. It is what it is. It is what it is. I mean, I've stated that I think they're going to have maybe a better year than even Vegas thinks. In a more easy and short form way to say we still suck. I don't understand that, Chris. I don't know what you're saying there, Chris. Wow, we got bots too today. We got a lot of stuff going on today. Wabbit season. No duck season. Yeah. I felt like I needed to intervene there. That was wild. Oh, okay. Well, no, Dwight is a realist. Dwight has said this all along, you know, and he said this on his segments here. We didn't get a chance to talk to him this week because he was working, but we'll talk to him about all this next week. The team has to win games. Justin Fuente was hyped beyond belief, and he had really good first year with Frank Beamer's players. Had a decent second year. Things started to kind of unravel late, and he never got it back. Never got it back. James Franklin, obviously a more proven product at the power level. Justin Fuente was coming from a G5 program. We didn't refer to all that as then, you know, like we do now. All these titles that are thrown out, but it's the same thing. So like I said, I understand everybody's excitement, but to point out things that are true and not true doesn't necessarily mean you're not dogging somebody. You're just talking. There's good and bad in every hire. There's good and bad in every personnel decision. It's not always 100% sunshine and roses. Franklin's got plenty of baggage he's bringing to Blacksburg. That's a fact. He's got plenty of track record of success where Tech fans are excited. That's a fact. Can you believe it is the 29th anniversary since the show Coach ended? Is it really? So 29 years ago, it's 1997? Craig T. Nelson. Wasn't Craig T. Nelson also the voice of Mr. Incredible? Remember The Incredibles when Pixar was actually still a thing? I'm pretty sure Craig T. Nelson was Mr. Incredible. If I'm not mistaken, that is correct. Yeah. Get Will on here. Send him his invite here. Okay. Good. That went through. We're good. Yeah, it was. It was Mr. Incredible. Yeah. No, I agree with that 100% for me. Absolutely. And I've said that all along. Tech fans are some of the best fans, the support. All I know is anybody who ever questions that, they sent 62,000 people to an 11 a.m. game against Wofford. Blew my mind. Blew my mind. So I get it from both sides. See, this is where you can't win. Like I'll get people on the text line tell me I'm a homer for Tech all the time. And now today I'm being told I'm being negative. I'm not. It's not. Trying to just provide a balanced reality. Yeah, you should be excited. Absolutely, things are trending up. Does that mean that everything's going to go exactly the way you want it to? No. No, it really doesn't. Is it likely to be better than it was with James Franklin? I mean, for James Franklin, was it Brent Pry? Absolutely it was. You could have brought anybody in here and been better than it was with Brent Pry. Yeah, he was the coach in all the right moves. Oh, I forgot about Poltergeist. Yeah, he was in Poltergeist, wasn't he? I don't remember Private Benjamin. I know, I remember the title. I don't remember seeing Private Benjamin. Was that Goldie Hawn? Is that who that was? I think it was Goldie Hawn. What's up, Elias? Good to have you back. Please subscribe to the channel. Yeah, Goldie Hawn. Wow. Football. It's the sport of kings, better than diamond rings. Football. That Goldie Hawn. You know, she was a football coach in that movie. Remember, the Titans came in second, by the way, Peter. Thank you. On our text line. Field of Dreams. Remember the Titans, Hoosiers, Bull Durham, and the program were your top five. 168 votes. Very, very cool. Thank you. Yep. Yeah, exactly, Tebow. Exactly. No question about it. Perception. People who, live by those rankings. Sure. It's great. It's awesome. And people see that, and yeah, they're going to write about it. There's going to be a trend about it. All right, so Creed, y'all can't see him right now. He's walking. He smells the bunny. There's fur, and he is going nuts out there. I think I created a crazy kitty this morning. Should I feel bad? Do I feel bad? No, I'm going to stand by it. I saved the little guy. He didn't need that rabbit this morning. He's eaten plenty. How in the hell did Witt think hiring Pry was a good idea coming off hiring Fuente? Correct. That was maybe the worst hire. We talked, and this isn't revisionist history. This is when we brought the show back when all this was happening. We brought the radio show back during COVID, which was not a great idea, but hey, we're back. And it never made sense then. It makes even less sense now that we're separated from it. He was so desperate to bring in a hokey guy. He brought in somebody completely unqualified for the job that nobody else considered a head coaching candidate. Nobody. And there were some good people who were interested in that job that didn't even get interviewed. Kurt Signetti. So yes. Britt Price should have never been put in that situation. Yeah, Rocky only had like 12 votes, Wayne. 12. Me and Chris have been lamenting that all day. He only had 12 votes. Joining us now on the program is that gentleman. He is Will Stewart from Tech Sideline in his new home studio. What's going on? What you got? Oh, you got cups now. You got beer cups. Good for you.
It's got the usual Diet Mountain Dew in it.
Hey, okay. Gotcha.
See my tagline down at the bottom?
Waiting on Jen. We are.
No,
I haven't heard. There's no way she's going to join us, is there?
No way.
I mean, she didn't respond to the text, so you want to do it right now? Let's hit her up right now together.
No. She's not. She's. Hang on a second. What time is it in?
Can't
Las
wait to see
Vegas?
you this morning.
It's 4:01 a.m., man.
I know.
There's just no way.
I know. But, Will, it is the city that never sleeps.
How well do you know Jen? Because sleep is very important to Jen.
Well,
is Brent Pry the topic of the day?
No. We're talking about, the Bork kid and what it means nationally. And I'm stating that that's great. Hey, that's awesome that they were able to compete financially to get a kid like that. But I'm more excited about a proven product like Ethan Grunkenmeyer, who we saw do it in the highest levels consistently. That to me this year, if I'm a Tech fan, makes me more excited that, okay, you got another commitment. Sure, he's a high-ranked quarterback. He's got another year of high school. Who knows what might develop now from this verbal commitment to at the end of the year? Who knows how many of these guys wash out across the country, right? But I think they got a guy in hand that's ready to come in and be one of the upper echelon quarterbacks in the league. So,
yeah, I don't want to be that guy, but is it really worth getting excited over high school players anymore?
That's kind of my point. Yeah, exactly. It's great, and they're right in chat. It makes Tech look good on all the the national college football writers are reporting it. They're putting them up in the rankings, and other players see that. And what Franklin's doing there, the marketing part, is wonderful.
Yeah,
but I really like the quarterback they were able to bring in out of the portal a whole lot. So we'll see.
Well, you're talking about this year versus the future. Bork is the future. It's not like he's going to come in and.
Correct. And if and maybe he won't be the future. He may not end up even here. It's such a long ways out. It's hard to get. We'll see.
Yeah, we've got. I guess there's still a signing day in December until they wise up and get rid of that.
I know. That's right. It's still here, isn't it? Yeah.
So we've got. You got 7 months, and to me, it just yes, it's good for PR, it's good for rankings and stuff like that. But to me, it only says two things. It says that James Franklin is a great recruiter, which we knew.
He always has been. Correct.
And he's got enough money to be competitive. Because
exactly.
that the schools coming after Bork they also have a lot of money. And I don't remember the exact quote, but there's a college coach who used to say something like, I liked it when recruits committed to other schools. That just told me I just needed to work them harder. So this is not over. It's never over until the kid signs, and
correct.
But yeah, it's good for PR, but man, that is so far down the road. Get him here. Number one, get him here, get him signed and get him here. Number two, keep him here. Number three, develop him, I'm going to be eligible for Medicare by the time, Bork is a competitive quarterback at Virginia Tech. And I'm sorry.
And it's already a very deep room. People were, everybody was raving about it.
Saying, man, if he could build that room at every position on the team, this would be a national championship contender.
I know, right? And they're not going to stay. He brings in this kid. You're going to probably have at least 2 leave after this year. So there's going to be the addition and then the subtraction. And that's the way it works in this system, man. That's just the way it works. So,
well, you can't. But that's always been true. You can't hang your hat on one kid.
No. But they're not going to keep, like, Hume's not going to stay. He won't. If he sees this kid coming in and he has a big year in his last year and signs, Hume's like. And if Grunkenmeyer's got 3 years, right? Potentially.
I think so. Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
So,
I think he was a redshirt freshman.
What if he's really good, and he says, you know what? I don't want to go. I'm not ready to go pro after that second year, right? I'm just saying. Where does that put the timeline?
So speaking of Vegas, nice segue, huh? There's some sort of Vegas angle there, odds on how long kids will stay, and there's the pool, like put your chips down on which 2 quarterbacks you think will be here 3 years from now.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
And it actually probably won't be 2. They got 3, 4, 5 really good quarterbacks in that room, and man, I'll bet one of them is here in 3 years.
Correct.
And that's not, I don't know, that's not a harumph kind of statement. It's just, it's just the way it is. But that means the cream has risen to the top. They got enough good ingredients there that they're going to find themselves. And mentioning Grunkemeyer, they've already got a good quarterback. They already know that.
Absolutely.
Or any more going to bubble up from this group. And man, you throw injuries in and anything can happen.
Yeah, that's right. And the injuries, that's a big factor, right? Somebody might get their chance that didn't expect to, and then they ball out. That happens a lot across the country. Happened at Alabama. They were national title contenders. So,
well, that's actually a problem. It's actually a problem if your backup gets to play and he does well, and then your starter gets healthy.
Right.
How do you keep them both happy? Somebody's leaving. Probably the backup. He's going to get a payday because he's got film.
Because he's got film. That's right.
Yeah.
No, but and there's going to be other guys that are going to see this, and you're right. I think, and that's what I said early, Will. You and I are thinking alike on that. I think the best news for Tech fan, this shows you financially they are there. They can compete, and I think that should be exciting. And that's how I started this whole breakdown of this. That was the first thing I thought. Okay, that's great they got this kid, but boy, Georgia, Michigan, I don't know where everybody else was. We don't know behind the scenes, but the fact they're able to do that, that's pretty impressive, man, financially. It really is.
Yeah, if I remember the numbers correctly, Franklin came in wanting a $30 million for a roster, and that includes revenue sharing. So $20 million from the school channels, and then another 10 from donors or whatever. And I think the number he's working with is closer to 40. So I think he's gotten some good commitment from some donors. And it's funny, if you think about the 20 million in revenue sharing, another 10 million in NIL. I know this is going to sound weird, but it's just not that much.
No, it's not. It's not.
And we still don't know where the CSC is going to land on stuff as far as approving NIL deals and saying what's legit and what's not. But then there's another little guy on my shoulder who's sitting there saying, "Who cares what the CSC says?"
Correct.
Because if they start rejecting deals, they're just going to get sued, and they're going to wind up in the same boat as the NCAA, getting slapped down in court.
That's right.
But now that said, I think every school has to agree to abide by CSC rules and not sue. I think that's part of the deal. But I also think that schools aren't signing up for that. That they do. The schools at the top want the wild, wild west because it's advantageous for them.
Sure. No, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what you're saying is exactly what Coach Elmo has said. He says the top conferences don't want this to change. They may say all this, but they're really not pushing this. You don't hear the SEC and the Big Ten pushing for it to change, right? Because you're right. They don't. The NCAA as a whole probably doesn't want this to change at this point. I don't think they know it can't because of all the litigation. So that's why you're seeing let's expand the tournament. Let's go from 12 to 24. Let's get as much money as we can. This big TV deal negotiation is going to produce unbelievable, unheard of revenue in college sports. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
It all makes sense.
And they've, something that nobody's talking about. Last week, they increased the NCAA tournament field to 72, is that right?
76.
76, and that's so they can play, 24 teams can play and knock it down and knock the number down to 64. So in that preliminary first round, you got 24, and you knock it down to 12, and then you go into the traditional bracket with 64. And that's going to bring in something like an extra $300 million a year. Does that sound right? Is that the number that's been thrown around?
Yeah, they said just next year alone, 325 to 350 potentially on the high end, but at the very least 300 million. Correct.
Yeah. So there was a lot of bitching and arguing about who's going to get in, and that's going to water down the tournament and all that stuff. And it's not what it's about. It's about in an age of revenue sharing where you have to share. Each school can share up to probably $21 million now. That money's got to come from somewhere, Rick. And that is schools expanding the tournament to lessen the load on the donors a little bit. Now that said, actually I'm sitting here thinking out loud, $350 million. That's an average of $1 million per school. There's about 350 schools in Division 1A basketball, if I remember correctly. So that's not insignificant. And the SEC and the Big Ten will set it up so that out of that 350 million, a huge portion of it is coming to them. So that's like, how many schools are we talking about now? 34 in those two conferences.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to get not the majority. They're going to get a huge chunk of money out of that 350 million. What if those 34 schools get 100 million of it? That's 3 million per school. That helps. Every little bit helps,
Sure.
So that's an angle I didn't really hear discussed much. Everybody was just bitching about
I know.
about how that bloats the tournament. It is not about that. It's about the money.
How much do you eventually, I know this is just projection, but how much do you see extended revenue being created with a 24 team playoff as opposed to 12? I mean, you're going to have other TV networks involved. Advertising rates are going to go nuts. I mean, it's the second most watched sport in this country. Don't you feel like they're going to create? I mean, I can't even imagine the kind of money that might come out of this if they get everything done the way they want to.
And again, this is about the money. So they have the money to pay the athletes. The SEC and the Big Ten are pushing for that. Actually, how does it break down? Do both of those teams, do both those conferences want 24 teams, or is it one does and the other one doesn't?
You don't ever get an honest appraisal. Like, they're all sandbagging.
Yeah.
I think they do. I think they want to make another big marketing push. They do. But I don't trust anything we hear. So I'm just gotten so jaded. I don't believe, I don't know.
I think the devil's in the details. It depends upon if you continue to expand the college football playoff. At some point, you're going to have to, tell me if you agree with this, you're going to have to do away with conference championship games.
Yeah.
Because there's a scheduling issue. There is an issue where, and this has been a problem for a long time. Once the playoffs started, conferences started debating, should we still play our conference championship game?
Yeah.
We might, and this goes all the way back to when the playoff was 4 teams. Conferences are sitting there going, if we play, our best team might lose and get knocked out of the playoff. So there's a scheduling issue where you can't really cram enough games in, and you're actually going to need that weekend. And then there is a conference sitting there going, by doing the conference championship game, we're actually going to knock teams out. And also, I remember way back in the day. So tell me who the father of conference championship games is at the Division 1A level. Who created that?
The father of college champion. I can't remember. Was it the? I know. I think I know you're talking about. I can't think of the name.
Roy Kramer.
Roy Kramer. Yeah, that's right. He was
commissioner of the SEC.
SEC commissioner.
And he found some rule in the rule book somewhere that said you could split your conference into divisions and have a conference championship game if you had 12 teams.
That's right.
And you put 6 in each division.
Yep.
And Roy found that out, and he started expanding the SEC. I think that was around 1990. And that's when Arkansas got into the SEC. South Carolina was already in. I think they left the Metro. You know what? That may have been when South Carolina came in too, because I remember when I was in school, they were in the Metro.
They were. That's right.
Yeah. Maybe Jen might know that. I don't really remember when South Carolina got in the SEC, but anyway, Kramer expanded.
I'll look it up. That's good. That's a good question.
Yeah, go ahead and look it up, and I'll keep yammering.
Yeah.
So Kramer expanded the SEC to 12 teams and added a conference championship game. And back then, that conference championship game was a tremendous amount of money coming into the conference. Now,
1991.
Well, there you go. So it was Arkansas and South Carolina.
Yep.
So they could get to 12 teams, and there was somebody else because there were probably a couple other schools. Anyway, let's not get bogged down in that. So that was around 1990, and one of the things that fascinates me, and I still remember this, is that when when all the conference realignment dust settled and the Big East got created and the SEC went to 12 teams, in the mid 90s, the Big East Football Conference and the SEC signed TV contracts that were roughly equal. And dude, I'm not making this up. The number was 15 or 16 million a year for the entire conference. So the Big East got all excited because they signed a contract with CBS that brought in, $15 million, $2 million per school almost. But so the reason I tell that story is you get a feel for what schools were making from their conference TV contract. And so when Kramer added the SEC championship game, that brought in $4 to $6 million a year.
Yeah.
So that was big money. It boosted them from 16 million a year to 22 million a year in TV money. And that's why they did that. And you fast forward 30, 35 years later, and let's say the SEC championship game brings in 12 million, 15 million, even 20 million. It's just not that much. If expanding the football playoff means that you have to do away with your conference championship games, then those conferences, the SEC, for example, has one simple question. How much more am I going to make? Because I'm going to do away with my conference championship game, which I don't know what they make off of it these days. Let's say it's 20 million. Am I going to make more than that off of this expanded playoff? And I'm guessing the answer is hell yeah, especially if they rig it so that more SEC and Big Ten teams get in, which is exactly what they'll do. So the SEC will go from maybe getting 3 teams into the playoff to getting 4 or 5. That's what this is all about.
It is. It's about those 2 leagues getting up to 5. Yeah, 100%. And, Andy brought up a good point, too, yesterday. If you take out the championship games, how are you going to crown a champion? How's it going to be fair if one school has like UVA last year, right? They didn't play anybody in the league. And Penn State this year doesn't really they missed Michigan and Ohio State and Indiana, I believe. If you don't have a championship game, how are you going to, if somebody's got the same record, how do you I don't know. It just seems like it's going to create all sorts of ambiguity.
And why are we even doing this if you have a 16-team conference? Why are we even doing this if you're not going to split it up into divisions and have a meet? It gets kind of silly. And
yeah,
it's funny you bring that up because I was watching Virginia Tech and Clemson play baseball last night, and Clemson's last in the ACC in baseball, which is kind of shocking.
Yeah, they're not very good this year. Yeah, it is.
They apparently, according to the announcers will say anything. Apparently, sorry, Rick.
Hey.
But apparently
that's not true.
Apparently they have a very talented roster, but they suck. Their ACC record's not good. They're last. But Clemson has also played. You take the top 5 teams in the ACC baseball, and Clemson has played all of them, and no one else has.
Right.
They put up the record of the record of their in-conference opponents, and Clemson, the ACC schools they've played, have a 56% winning percentage. Virginia Tech, the ACC schools they've played, have like a 44% winning percentage.
Yeah.
And that's what happens when you create these huge bloated conferences and the schedules get unbalanced. And you 100%. See it.
Yep.
You see it in every sport, not just football. It's particularly a problem in basketball when, and I don't retain stuff, but I think if you look at Virginia Tech's home men's basketball schedule last year, they played UVA over Christmas break. Thank you, ACC. And every other tough opponent they had, they traveled. Everybody that they played once, they traveled. And then their home schedule is, the crappy teams.
Yeah.
And this is what happens year after year with the huge conferences and the unbalanced schedule.
Doesn't it just feel like they're all making it up as they go along? As soon as they discover some loophole that's going to create either more money or something that's going to further separate the 2 power leagues, it just feels like this whole thing is just a new idea that's not a great idea that they're trying to push for.
But it makes more money.
Let's do this now. It just feels there's no plan. There's no plan in place at all. at all.
No.
Or at least it doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like it.
So do you think, I got a lot of old men on my message boards. We've got a younger demographic we've got a younger demographic on the podcast, on our Instagram feed, all that stuff. I don't even want to know about the Facebook feed. I think that's a bunch of old people too, which is ironic because, Facebook started as a jazzy young people thing. It started out on universities, man.
It was hip. It was hip.
Yeah, but now it's just like old people, and Facebook is the dumbest form of social media out there. People talk about Twitter. No, man, people on Facebook are dumb.
Yeah. Twitter is a cesspool, but Facebook maybe is worse. Yeah, you're right.
So anyway, I forgot what we were talking about. I was getting ready to say something. So I was talking about how the
speaking of retention,
how the demographic. Hey man, I was up till 1 a.m. working last night. You're the one who got me up at 6.
I did. It's my fault. You're right.
I know I'm breaking your heart, but so anyway, you go to my message boards and they're all talking about how college sports is ruined and they're not as interested in it anymore. For anybody that's been watching college sports for longer than 10, 15, 20 years, guys and the people of a certain age, it's just not as good as it used to be. But I think, the TV ratings keep going up. Whatever they're doing, it's working. The stadiums are still, the upper level stadiums are still full. You watch a MAC game, and the MAC has been absolutely ruined by television.
I know.
You go back in time and you watch a MAC game from the 90s, and the stadium's full because the game's being played on a Saturday. The MAC, you and I have talked about this before, the MAC doesn't play on Saturday anymore. They have TV contracts that, they do whatever for the month of September. And then when MAC conference play starts in October, you go look at the MAC conference schedules. Every conference game is on Tuesday and Wednesday night.
Thanks, ESPN.
They don't play on. Once you get to October, November, the MAC doesn't play on Saturday. Now, when they first started doing that, when they first started putting the MAC on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, you'd tune into those games and it was fun. Stadium was full. Nope. 15, 20 years later, man, there's 10,000 people in the stands. And that is an example of an entire conference that was ruined by television.
Yeah, 100%. It's a great example. It's a great point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has. It has. I wonder how it would affect, and it's never going to happen. Imagine if the ACC, what if Tech all of a sudden had to adjust and play a bunch of Tuesday games and a bunch of Wednesday, right? I mean, it would clearly affect the crowd, right? It clearly would.
And,
makes sense. Yeah.
And this was a concern. The Thursday night game used to be a fun thing. You'd play all your games on Saturday and you'd play one game on Thursday. Virginia Tech would. They'd actually play two. And then as the TV contracts started getting redone over and over and over, suddenly the ACC had more games on Thursday, and this was after the NFL had showed up on Thursday. So having a game on Thursday night on ESPN, college football game wasn't as great as it used to be. And now you got ACC games sprinkled all around Thursday and Friday. And the Big East in its death throes in the early 2000s, the Big East Football Conference. I don't know if you remember this or not, but they were playing a lot on Wednesday nights. Some of those epic Virginia Tech, West Virginia games, they were Wednesday night games.
Wednesday night, yeah.
Wednesday. And even back then, it was fun and you could fill the stadium up. But if that's all you're doing, no, long term, that's not good for the brain.
Hey, Prometheus wants me to ask. Again, we don't know because none of the stuff that people are printing on X and trying to say this roster costs this much is accurate because nobody's reporting. What is your best guess? How much do you think Tech's total investment will be when that team gets ready to come back in August, when you count the freshman class? How much do you think they have spent in year
40
one.
million.
At least,
40
right?
million.
That's what, yeah, exactly.
And that's actually what we hear through back channels. The
Yeah,
numbers I gave earlier on, that he was coming in with a figure of 30 in his head, but he wound up at 40 for this year. Yeah. And man, it's
think about that. Yeah. Remember last year, Will, when Texas Tech bragged, whatever it was, and now look at Tech. Look at Virginia Tech. That's not that far behind. Yeah. I mean, you know, if you look at it, I mean, they're getting – so it just shows you that, you know, they weren't as far away as people thought once they got money in. Okay, now we got it. We're trying to be that competitive school that everybody else is bragging about what they have, right? So,
well, as much as everybody likes Brent Pry, and everybody likes Brent Pry, but there were literally donors who could afford to make the contribution who weren't doing it because Pry was still the coach, and Whit Babcock was still the athletic director.
Right.
There are people with big money who are sitting on the sidelines waiting for those two situations to change. I'm not of the camp that Virginia Tech can't compete. Certainly, you can't throw money at a program like Phil Knight can, like Cuban can for Indiana, like the billionaires at Texas Tech. Virginia Tech's not going to be able to do that, but they can be very competitive. I think I've said this on your show before, the series of podcasts we're doing with Bud Foster. The first one we did, he had a great line. He said, we got on the topic and he said, you know, Virginia Tech doesn't have any billionaires, but they got a lot of millionaires.
A lot of millionaires, yeah.
And so the Hokies have done a poor job of tapping into their very high level donors. They know it. They're working on that. They're working on greasing the skids and improving the pipeline there. It puts pressure on, and not tremendous pressure, but it puts pressure on Franklin to win early, because what happened with the men's basketball program is they did get some NIL money this past year. They did build a good roster, and they didn't make the NCAA tournament. So now people are just going, oh, well, I'm not going to do that again.
Right.
Yeah. So you got a $40 million roster this year. That's a number that we've heard. What if you go out there and you go 6-6? You're going to have that $40 million again next year.
That's a great point. It's a great point.
But there's a lot of moving parts. There's the simple issue of momentum, which is what we're talking about here. But there's also improved fundraising and a new, you know, by this time, I think the new AD is actually going to get hired in the next 30 to 90 days. They're talking about 8 months now for the school president. They're not going to wait that long for an athletic director.
No.
And you are going to see not only are you going to see a new athletic director, you're going to see a revamping of how Virginia Tech's athletic department is structured. So keep your eye on that stuff. There's a lot of interesting things where there's just a lot of interesting stuff going on. You're going to see that transformed. So some improved fundraising will come out of just doing things better, separate from the momentum piece. If you can go out and win 8 games, maybe 9, something crazy like that, which is going to be difficult because his roster is talented, but it's young, and they get sent on the road a lot this year. But if you can combine some winning and some momentum with improved fundraising and structure of the athletic department, then, you know, they can continue to fund a roster that will be competitive.
Well, and that's, you know, the ask is going to continue to go up and up. And this falls in line with what you're saying. You remember, well, you weren't on the show that day, but I was mentioning my Big Ten guy. He's money. He sits in the meetings. They said all this stuff people trying to say there's going to be 10 programs spending 50, 60 million. He goes, hell, Rick, there's already 30, 40 programs spending 60 million. Those numbers are so low. People don't understand what's going on out there. And what you're saying backs that up, because if Tech's spending 40 million, they weren't even one people were talking about. And they're already,
right.
You know, so it's going to continue to escalate. They're going to be $100 million rosters before you know it.
Because there are no guardrails and no controls.
Correct.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? That's crazy.
All right, my man.
Well, if we get Jen on, I might send you another invitation to jump back on if you're around this morning. I don't know what you're doing this morning.
Oh, I don't like to get in between you two, but I will be watching because I want to see what she looks like. Now, Jen will not show up looking bad. Don't get me wrong.
No, exactly. She's incapable of that.
Well, you and I know her well enough to look for the little clues. Because she always looks great, but how's her focus?
I have not gotten any response. 3 texts, and I haven't gotten any response. So,
didn't she go? Didn't she go yesterday? Didn't they arrive in Vegas yesterday?
Yeah. So I can't imagine last night was as bad as maybe we think.
No. I'm going to say the opposite.
You think it was worse?
Depending on what time they got there, the first night of the trip is always,
Yeah, but I think tonight was the night she got them in that place. Remember, she was talking about some spa hotel, some place she'd wanted them to do, and she finally got them booked.
Is that the place with all the giant TVs and the pool?
Yeah, the pool, and she wanted to be able to enjoy that. Didn't want to be hung over all day and be like not. So maybe she.
Okay, all right.
A little restraint.
So she's in the shower right now at 5:30 a.m. Getting ready for your show.
Maybe, I don't know. We'll find out. You
can send the link if you want to. I don't think I'm going to jump on though. I think.
Yeah, I understand. Well, I'll send you a new one. Just in case she's on. So that might be fun.
All right, man. I'll at least be watching.
But I'm like you. I don't have a lot of confidence. Don't have a lot of confidence she's going to jump on today. So,
are you having Mike on? Are we running into Mike's time?
Yeah, Mike's coming on here in just a second. Yep.
You got to put him on. I got to see if he's got the light behind him. That was so funny last week when I described exactly what the setup was going to look like.
I just sent him the invite. So.
Oh, you hadn't sent him the invite? Man, it's 7:35. You're cutting into his time.
These things, they went from they were good for 15 minutes, and now they're only good for about 10 minutes. So I try to make sure I get them in under 10 minutes to the people because it's strange. They don't let them linger. They've had some problems with that. So they extinguish, and then you have to send a new one. So.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So, we'll get Mike on here and see if he fixed his – he looked like he was a prisoner in a cave. With the light to try to get him to spill some military secrets.
Let's have another episode of Will without the ring light.
Yeah.
Will with the ring light. It's like that Seinfeld episode where he was dating the girl who was she was good looking in the dark but ugly in the light, right?
Yeah, like gorgeous in the light. Wow. And then who's that? You're not his girlfriend.
And she was all like, hello, and then you turn the light.
Yeah. That's funny.
So is Mike responding?
Mike has not responded yet. He's in chat. He's too busy chatting today. Mike's discovered chat. He's in the chat room today. Our McClellan Chiropractic chat room. So, Mike, you have the invite. You should have the invite. If you don't, let me know, and we'll send you a new one.
By the way, Virginia Tech softball, I believe, plays today in the NCAA tournament.
Down in Baton Rouge, right?
Yeah, and that's interesting because if I'm correct, LSU is the number 16 overall seed, and Virginia Tech's in the 17 to 20 range. They could. I'm not bothered by them being on the road. They can easily win that regional.
They'll win that regional. They'll win that regional. Yeah.
The problem is if they win that regional, unless there's another upset in just the right spot, they'll travel for their super regional. So Virginia Tech's good enough that depending upon, Bree Carrico is their number 2 pitcher, and she suffered some sort of injury in the ACC tournament. So depends upon whether or not she's healthy, but Virginia Tech, they showed at the ACC tournament that they can be good for 3 days. They only gave up 3 runs in 3 games.
That was incredible.
If they just hit the ball against Florida State, they lost the championship 2-1. Had the bases loaded in the bottom of the or top of the sixth, couldn't bring anybody across.
Let it get away. Yeah. Yeah.
They had a batter crush a ball that was about 10 feet foul. That if that thing had been fair, Virginia Tech would have won the ACC championship probably. But anyway,
I saw him at Radford, and I said it. And I'm going to stand by it. I said that, and talked to Pete a little bit. I said that's a College World Series team. I think they are. I think they're that good.
They are when they are at their best. They are easily is a strong word, but they're easily good enough to make the College World Series.
I agree.
They are.
I agree. Mike Ashley's here. Mike let out to talk to us. He's out of his prison detail.
New studio.
What is that behind you?
It's a roof that's right here. It's the attic at my Delaware estate here. So we're going to call it the Baddock because I have a bat cave at home in Fairfax, and this is the Baddock or a Belfry, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I'm very pleased that there's a little bit more light in here. Maybe I can even make more. Look at that. I'll take that up some. There. Oh, yeah. Look at that. I'll lean over here.
Yeah, that's much better. That's much better. Yeah. A little dark in the shoulders, but that's okay. That's okay.
A little dark in the shoulders. All right. You got to see the view here out the window. I got my one window.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Cool.
I can watch the street, the school. They used to play soccer there across the road. I used to love watching that in the, from my house porch list because the Hispanic guys would be out there playing. I never understood a word, but they were having so much fun. It was great. You know how sporting events are, right?
Yeah, wait. I thought you weren't allowed to live near schools.
No, I'm not allowed to.
And on that note, bye, guys.
Wait a minute. All right, Will, we may see you a little bit, Will. We might see you again in a little bit. So later, man. Will Stewart. What's up, Michael? How are you?
That house, by the way, across the way there, that is the house I sort of wanted to build here, but they wouldn't let me because I am the last house in the historic society part of town that's controlled. And that house, just feet away from me, is not. And they got to build a bigger, nicer house than the old one we had to rehab, which is partly okay, but I get stuck in the attic. I had to position this chair so I wouldn't hit my head on the wall.
But
anyway, what have I got to complain about, right?
Well,
except that list of movies. The program there.
I know. What's your all-time? Did we get into this at all last week?
We have talked about this before, but it's worth repeating. And of course, a lot of this is a victim of when you were in your prime movie-going years, I think, or what you saw on TV. And
carry on without me for about 5 seconds. I got to
go.
Well,
yeah, I'm going to talk to you about movies, and you're not there. Okay. Bull Durham. Bull Durham is number one, and it wasn't about the Appalachian League. It was about the Carolina League because it had the at that time the Salem Bucks actually in the movie. So yeah, Bull Durham is Ron Shelton's ode to minor league baseball, and really captures that feel and that crazy zaniness and all those young kids just doing crazy things. It's probably the most real to life sports movie, I think, in terms of a lot of things. The way the action presented, the way the players live, that sort of stuff, based on what I know. What's that?
We had 168 votes, the most we've ever had on our fan question of the week.
Field of Dreams. Why I thought I better talk about it.
Field of Dreams had 63.
I don't have a problem with Field of Dreams. I like I said, it's not my number one, but look, I lost my dad when I was 6 years old. So you tell me I get to revisit my dad at some point in a field, throw baseball? Yeah, I don't make me cry here. There's no crying in baseball.
There's no crying in baseball. So we had, I don't know, did you hear the top five? It was.
I did. I tuned in early this morning. I gotta, I'm an old man now. I get up so early. It's pathetic. And now I can shout, I think, because I'm up here in the attic, so they can't hear me. That was the thing. My wife made me change my positioning so we didn't show her walking through the background to get her coffee in the morning. So, it was, and then at home, I'm down in the basement, but, I always hear the door close because I'm being too loud.
Sometimes not very subtly. Boom.
I'm not subtlety's not my strong suit there, Rick.
No,
all right, look, I want to throw out some movies. First, the Rocky. There's a whole franchise. There's now a second franchise of Rocky movies.
I know.
But if you landed in between those Rocky movies, I could see how you'd miss that. But the thing about Rocky is sometimes I actually think of Rocky as a real person, and those things actually happen. I get upset about the death of Apollo Creed, and
me too.
And I'm just
to this day,
they're part of our national psyche. I mean, and if boxing were that good, they wouldn't be where they are now, and you wouldn't have people kicking each other in the face in cages. We
Correct.
still have boxing because it was a big deal, and they just sort of took themselves out of existence with all that pay-per-view stuff that they started doing. Important lessons for major league sports. That now, who talks about boxing? Who talks about it?
I know.
And that was,
I know.
Always just such a great sport. Okay, we mentioned that one.
That was
how about Slapshot?
Slapshot didn't get any votes whatsoever. Not one. Not
That's
one.
A hockey movie, kid.
The Miracle did. The Miracle had a few.
Well, Miracle is it was on my list too. I tell you one I like from a more recent vintage is Moneyball. I like Moneyball. I hate that NFL draft movie with Kevin Costner, but Moneyball
it's really bad. It's really bad. But I watch it anyway. Yeah, it's dumb. It's dumb, but I watch it.
All right, this is one I argue with hardcore baseball fans about, but not English majors, because they love the symbolism in it like I do. The Natural.
Yeah, I don't like The Natural.
You don't like The Natural?
No.
Oh man, I'd kill for a New York Knights hat. I'm going to have one of those before I'm gone. And just come on. Wilfred Brimley is the crusty manager. Pop Fisher.
I like me some Wilfred Brimley. Yeah, I do like me some.
And Kim Basinger and who was Bump Bailey dying in that tragic right field accident. We had a student worker at Radford named Stephen Bailey, who now is forever known as Bump Bailey. And he actually is the golf coach at Marquette, last I heard. And they've won some championships there. So it's worked out well for Bump Bailey. All right, let me see what. Oh, here's one that's way off the radar, sports fans. Back to the 70s when Gabe Kaplan was a thing. You ever heard of the movie?
I know what you're going to say. Yes.
Fast Break?
I'm going further than that. Remember the fish that saved Pittsburgh?
Yes, but I'm trying to forget it. I really am. That was no. Pittsburgh Pisces, no. Cadwalader University, yes.
Fast Break.
And I can't remember the woman's name. She was a real college basketball player that played the character of Swish. Where they made her dress like a man, and she had the sweet jump shot.
Yes,
I met her at a tournament. She was an assistant coach at Syracuse. And when I read in her bio in the press, because that's what you do on the bus to the shoot arounds and stuff, you read the press guides and learn about. And I went, she was in Fast Break, and I just went up at the luncheon and introduced myself and told her what a fan I was of that movie. It was, it's one of those great sports moments you get sometimes in our business, right? I wish I remember her name.
I forgot about Swish.
Swish. I also loved 8 Men Out, although the book is so much better than the movie. Yeah, you have to do both. And this is tough to say because if it doesn't have a ball in it, I don't really care about it as a sport usually. Seabiscuit. Seabiscuit is such a good movie, and I'm told the book is better, but I haven't got around to reading that yet. But Seabiscuit is just a great sports movie with a lot of great actors in it.
I have not seen Seabiscuit. Now, listen, everybody's falsely portraying. I don't hate Days of Thunder. I just like making fun of it. Tell you what, next time we have Marty Smith on, I'm just going to let Marty talk about Days of Thunder.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea.
And then everybody will understand where I'm coming from with Days.
Well, how about
I don't hate it.
Bobby, how about the Ricky Bobby movie then?
That's when Will Ferrell started to head downward. Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. Here's another. Here. There are actually 2 Steve Prefontaine movies, and Steve Prefontaine was a big deal in the early 70s when I was a kid. When you were stuck on spring Sunday afternoons watching those almost trash sports shows on ABC, Wild World Sports, and showing you sports that you went, I didn't know people did that. And then just a lot of track and field, especially on CBS. So Steve Prefontaine, there's a movie called Prefontaine, which I don't remember it. I saw it, but I don't remember. But the other one, Without Limits, the Steve Prefontaine story is tremendous. And if you haven't seen that, for fans of this show, I recommend that, Without Limits. Okay, then I just thought of some football movies because, good God, we all love football, right? And nobody's talked
yes,
about.
We do. Yes, we do.
How about Heaven Can Wait with Warren Beatty as
Warren
Joe
Beatty.
Pemberton?
I forgot about that one.
Rams beating the Steelers in the Super Bowl.
Forgot about that one.
Yeah, that's a decent watch. And then let's see, Paper Lion. Alan Alda, George Plimpton, which was a big movie for me because it was about a sports writer. And it was many years afterwards that I went back and watched it. And I actually read the book a few years ago just to read it. And, Plimpton was really something. And he's another guy I miss on my sports writing landscape. Have you ever heard of the movie Number One?
Number One? No.
Oh, my God. It's a late 60s movie. And it's got Charlton Heston. Charlton Heston is quarterback of the New Orleans Saints. And what they do is they use footage of Billy Kilmer, number 17 for the Saints in the movie. Bruin. So I'm just sitting there going, okay, you make a movie about this guy who's supposed to be the greatest quarterback ever. First of all, he's playing for the expansion Saints. And second, you're using footage of Billy Kilmer, who, by the way, I love Billy Kilmer, but he's not the virtuoso passer you would pick out generally to do this.
No.
I think the term, lame duck throw was coined for Billy Kilmer. But anyway, so that was the one that came to mind. Also have to do this as a Salem native, born and bred. When I die, I'm Salem dead. Remember the Titans. Okay. All right.
That was number 2.
Actually win a state championship on a double reverse when they're in the prevent defense on the other side on the last play of the game. Please, dear God, do sports some justice. It did not go like that.
Nothing went like it was portrayed. Correct.
I think the final score was 28-0. Although the controversy of the game was Andrew Lewis High School, and they played. They wore our colors in that movie. Andrew Lewis High School actually blocked a punt or something early in the game and went up 6-0, and then they disallowed the touchdown, and then they got clubbed. And I actually think that the 80-man roster of T.C. Williams High School took it easy on the about 38-man roster of Andrew Lewis, where no player weighed, I don't know how many 200-pound guys they had. And it was just, it could have been just an absolute bloodletting because those guys were so much bigger. And Lewis played tough. The other thing I didn't like was, the Roanoke Stadium at night. It was Victory Stadium, and it was a cold Saturday afternoon. And they had Marshall High School involved there, and that was actually a team they played in the semifinals from Northern Virginia. And if you remember, they had Hall of Fame coach Ed Henry on the sidelines there for Marshall that ran that sophisticated offense that they had to shut down. Well, that was actually based on Eddie Joyce, who was the real Andrew Lewis coach and the mayor of Salem, I might add. Also, talk about double duty there. And the other thing you need to know is that back early on, one of Eddie Joyce's assistants in the early 60s was a fella named Norm Linneberg. Who, right. When I saw Radford High School play there in the 80s for the first time, I went, hey, I recognize this offense, because it was the Andrew Lewis offense of Eddie Joyce, and who I became a big fan of because Eddie Joyce Jr. was there throwing the ball all over the field for the time, and out of the I formation usually, or split T, and it was good stuff. Billy Sample, who went on to play Major League Baseball, was an all-star wide receiver, and Eddie Joyce Jr. went to Louisville and left there back long before transferring was so important to the college game, and landed at Virginia Tech, where he is the answer to one of my favorite trivia questions. In the 77-6 loss to Alabama that Virginia Tech suffered, tell me how they got the 6. It was
2 safeties.
It was 42-0 in the second quarter, and Eddie Joyce came off the bench and threw a pass to I think it was a tight end, Paul Thorax, for the 6 points. So Eddie Joyce is in the box score for that game, which no one should be proud of, because I remember the headline in the Roanoke Times the next day was, "At least no one was killed." Because they rushed for almost 900 yards. Wilbur Jackson had like 140 yards on like 6 carries. It was incredible. Richard Todd was the quarterback, I think, and they ran that wishbone, and that's how Jimmy Sharp ended up being the Virginia Tech coach, because when they got beat that badly by the wishbone and that kind of offense, people they hired Jimmy Sharp to come in, and the Hokies, they were sharp for a while.
Original Bad News Bears, Wayne.
Oh, yes, Coach Buttermaker. Yes, the original. Yes, but the original, except no invitation. Ditto. The longest yard.
Oh, I know. That's my favorite
Let me have
one.
Burt Reynolds.
I talked about this yesterday. No, not the disaster Adam Sandler crap.
Right.
Yeah.
And the only problem I had with the Burt Reynolds movies was that last play that was like 6 seconds on the clock took about 3 minutes on film.
Well, come on. It was a slow motion.
They kept starting it over and over from every angle. But hey, Mean Machine.
Mean Machine.
Maybe year, that's the beginning of the black jerseys that we all hate so much now, or at least the old men do.
One year, when I was playing Radford City League softball, we named ourselves the Mean Machine, specifically after that movie. And you know who named us? It was Donald Wayne Snell. He was a bigger fan of that movie than I was.
Yes. You told me about playing with Donald Wayne Snell.
Oh, my God.
Donald Wayne Snell. I saw him play in high school, too, and I got to – his senior year, someone had to write a feature on it for the program when I was working in sports information then. And there was a little bit of reticence on everybody's part, because Donald Wayne just didn't talk to people. He didn't talk to the media hardly at all, even though he was this great player and he should have, but he just didn't. And so I got the chore of going to, and for me, it was like walking in there like Tom Brookshire with Dwayne Thomas there until, you guys know how I am. I finally got him loosened up, and he gave me some great stuff. And my boss at the time, Jack Williams, was so happy with the story, especially one line I had. I said, "Donald Wayne Snell, a man of many, many moves and very few words."
He was outgoing on softball. That's a little different environment, but yeah, he was cool. He was a good dude. Good dude to play with.
All right. Yeah. I always feel good when I get my Remember the Titans rant out, because
I know.
My blood just sort of boils every time and look, I liked some of the movie myself too, and especially seeing Ryan Gosling play a hick. Oh, by the way, they portray Alexandria, Virginia as like, it looks
I know.
Let me not offend any place down in Southwest Virginia, but it's like a redneck enclave, and it was never
nothing. It was nothing. Exactly. That's why I don't like the movie. And Denzel Washington's my favorite actor, and I don't mind his portrayal's fine. But none of it's so inaccurate in every way. I just go.
The Equalizer has been on my movie channels, and I just can't not watch it every time it's on. Denzel, the first one, that Equalizer. Oh,
the first one is really.
He makes that great catch in right field too. You don't make that.
I know he makes the catch.
We're doing color and analysis for movie scenes and sports movies, and that's not a sports movie.
No, it's not. But it's still very good. That whole franchise, I liked all 3 of them. I even liked the third one. Third one wasn't great, but I still liked it.
It was not great, but the second one was pretty good, and
it was pretty good.
Was okay, but
okay.
The first one's so good they should have left it alone.
Correct.
Unlike Rocky, where they had some good ones after that. Rocky 3 is brilliant on a bunch of levels because it's funny, and
it is. And I liked Rocky 4. 4 is the nostalgia of Rocky 4 makes it.
Yes. 5 is unwatchable.
It's not even real. It's not a real thing. Yeah.
But it's not really about the boxing in the ring. And then two, I had a moment in two that probably should be mentioned here. Let's see. I don't know how old I was at that time, but after seeing Rocky 1, being a part of that whole thing that won Best Picture, and having been a guy that sought it out, went to see it, took a date and everything, it was great. Then in Rocky 2, when it came out, I'm in the theater and I was kind of thinking it might end sort of the same way. And then when he won the championship, I was so thrilled. I think I shouted, "He won!"
I know, I was too. I remember that was as a kid. Yeah, he lost the first and couldn't wait for the second one, and they both fell. You're like, he's going to get up, right? He's going to get up.
Yeah, what guts with that man, and nobody did so much for charity as it's Rocky, except Bob Hope.
Except Bob Hope.
When he fought Thunderlips, not Bob Hope. Bob Hope didn't fight Thunderlips. That was Rocky.
By the way, I think this is the best aesthetic you've had. This looks good. This looks really good. Your attic studio in Delaware is really good.
Well, and I can work on this. I can get some more lighting somehow. I'll try not to get the halo look like an alien just off the ship.
No, it looks good. That looks good. That looks really good.
Unfortunately, next week I'll probably be back in the Fairfax basement, hoping, son, come up, give me some more lighting.
I know. Well, good stuff. I appreciate your movie list. That was awesome.
Well, again, the Remember Titans makes me have to comment. So.
Let me ask you this, and for me, this is exactly right. Die Hard is not a Christmas movie.
No.
Why do people keep insisting that it's a Christmas movie?
To piss people off like us.
Yeah.
That agree. Hey, there's one other thing I should mention here. Hoosiers, which we all love, and I
came in third.
Huh? Yeah,
came in third.
But
third.
You know that. You know how many bus rides I had with basketball teams, men's and women's, over my time. You know how many times I've seen that movie. Anyway, it's got those iconic moments in it. But one thing I should mention is Wilbur Shooter Flatch, played by Dennis Hopper. I have a special appreciation for Dennis Hopper. A buddy of mine at Radford, Pat Miller, has appeared in back then appeared in several major motion pictures, and one of them was what was that, Blue Velvet, which Dennis Hopper was in. And Pat Miller, my friend from Chilhowie, was at that time living in Hollywood, was in that movie, and he talked about guys like Dennis Hopper and Pat Hingle, another guy he worked with in that Stephen King movie, the one where the machinery takes over the world for a day with Emilio Estevez. Anyway, Pat Hingle was another guy that kind of took my friend Pat under their wing, a young actor, and really helped him, and was just a great guy. Although they cleaned him out at poker regularly if they could. These millionaires playing with the poor guy from Chilhowie, right? But anyway, I always had warm feelings about Dennis Hopper after that, knowing that he was the kind of guy that would help. You think about us in sports, you think about the veterans helping the rookies and stuff like that, and going out of their way to look out for them. And that's what these guys did, other than taking all their money in poker games. But you can't help that, right?
Correct. Well, good stuff, my friend. Hope you're doing well. I'm going to call you later today. I got to call you.
Okay. All right. Yeah. What are you going to call me? Anyway, are we running short on time? Is Jen actually going to show up?
She just asked. She just said, did I send the invite? So There we go. So
all right, well, let me run through open mic here real quick, because I got.
That's right. We still haven't done. Go ahead.
I got some unfinished business here from last week because I had to laud my buddy Scott Bennett.
No, it's Friday. You're fine.
So I didn't get a chance to say the things that needed to be said about Ted Turner. Turner passed away at 87. The swashbuckling millionaire of the 70s bought a little TV station in Atlanta, turned it into a superstation, and built an empire. In the process, putting Atlanta baseball, basketball, and hockey on any time they were played. It was a significant change for those of us outside the pro sports markets that grew up with our lone game of the week and sports broadcasts just around weekends and holidays, baseball on Saturday afternoon and Monday nights, and just radio and box scores the rest of the week. Maybe the Sporting News and Sports Illustrated if you were obsessed. I was. So belated thanks, Ted, for opening the door on round-the-clock sports and news coverage when no one else was thinking about it except pimply-faced teenagers like me. I had an older neighborhood friend who latched on at that same TV station, then known as WTCG, as a graphic artist. I proudly told sports guys I'd meet that he was the one who did those drawings of Dale Murphy and Glenn Hubbard and Phil Necro and others around the commercials on what became known as TBS, Turner Broadcasting System. He also did the hockey and basketball TV billboards, schedules, cards, and ads too. And one year, the Hawks co-opted a basketball marketing campaign built around something he was saying around the office that he picked up at my playground with my buddies. We used to regularly on the hallowed Conehurst court of my youth, as the gang assembled and meandered into games, let's run one. And that was actually the Hawks theme one year. Let's run one. Point is, we all got to watch a lot more games thanks to Ted's bravado, betting on guys like us watching and sticking around for Leave It to Beaver reruns. My pal, the renowned artist Ken England, recalls all these risks Ted took in it, what made it an exciting work environment early on. You didn't know if Ted was going to win all these bets or if you'd be out of work. That's how precarious it often was there. Ted made it work, just like the Mouth of the South won the America's Cup in 1977. He started the Goodwill Games for international competition, and let's not kid ourselves, for programming. He bought and preserved huge chunks of land to protect flora and fauna, fought to slow nuclear proliferation, then married bombshell Jane Fonda, and finally turned the Braves into big winners when he hired Bobby Cox, who also passed away last week. Unless you subscribe to the theory Bobby just got tossed out one more time. Cox holds the major league record for early exits at 162, and we love it for it. There were times here in the late 70s into the turn of the century when it seemed there were as many Atlanta Braves fans in the New River and Roanoke Valleys as all other teams combined. So much so that when Francisco Cabrera knocked slow Sid Bream home with a run to win the 1992 National League pennant, a friend and Pirate partisan uttered the immortal line that captured the Braves of the era perfectly for me. If the Braves ever win the World Series, there won't be enough shelf space in Walmart. For sports fans, there's not enough gratitude to show Ted Turner for giving us what we wanted, which was more. Probably got too much. Now nothing seems as special anymore, but that's the American way. And I guess that's finally my TED Talk.
The best tweet about his passing was, I wonder if his funeral is going to start at 7:05.
7:05, yes.
That was great.
Which, by the way, when I used to convene lunches, I would often tell people 12:05, 12:07 after the national anthem.
After the national anthem.
1:05. For that very reason, TBS, because we all lived and breathed those schedules.
Right after a rerun of Andy Griffith. Yep.
That too. That's why I went with Leave It to Beaver, because everybody knows my Andy oeuvre.
Exactly.
Which, by the way, Goober says hey to all.
Hey to Goober as always. All right, brother. Great stuff, man. Like the new setup. That looked good.
Yay!
Yay! Woo! Got your lighting right.
I'm just finishing up the ballroom downstairs too.
Okay, good. All right, take care of yourself.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Mike Ashley here on the program. And wow, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, we underestimated this young lady, because joining us right now from the city that never sleeps, Sin City, and I'm sure she's going to be the capital S in the word sin over the next couple of days. It's Jen, the Gamecock Girl. What's going on?
Hey, I'm having a little trouble hearing you. It's very loud here.
Look at you out. So you're outside the hotel right now.
I am. I did not want to disrupt my roommates. So I came downstairs in my little tracksuit and came out front so you could get a little of the glam.
You should walk us around there. That's pretty cool. Everybody is very impressed right now. I'm telling you, this is cool. So give us your trip, by the way. You left yesterday, correct?
Left yesterday, woke up 6 a.m. East Coast time, got ready, flew to Charlotte to Vegas. Favorite driver picked us up in his limo. We have some pics of that somewhere. And we came to the resort, and we've been hanging out here since. Unfortunately, I have a little bit of a cold. You probably can hear it, a little raspy. But otherwise, everything's great.
Well, it looks great. It looks great. What was your first night like in Vegas? Did you guys take it easy a little bit? Because I know you got your big cool TV pool day coming up, right?
We have that tomorrow night. Tonight is the Bruno Mars Club Pinky Ring. So
That's right.
these
That's
two
right.
nights are the big nights. So first night was intended to kind of take it easy, have a few cocktails, do some shopping, have some girl time, and then the rowdy kicks in later today.
We'll be having a special evening broadcast of Jen and Rowdy Vegas stunting. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that would be difficult. Bruno Mars, I told you, no phones in there. You're not
No
allowed
phone.
to have your phone out.
No phones. What's the temperature? People are asking. Prometheus is asking. What do you got?
I'm gonna guess it's about 74 right now, maybe 75. As
That's
you can
not
see,
bad.
it's dark, so it's 9900-ish during the day.
Yeah, that dry, no humidity, just straight up every bit of that degree you feel Vegas heat. Yeah.
Yes, but you're getting a
No,
little
this is
bit.
great. I didn't want to say. Yeah, we're getting a little bit. We're getting a little bit of it. That's cool. That's cool. So when you're there in Vegas and you get there with you and your group, and I know how much you love it. Are they as excited about the whole weekend as you are? Like the whole.
Maybe no. I might be the most excited because I love all the sports gambling and all
I
that.
know.
They don't do that. So
When are you going to the
for
book?
them,
When are you going to the book? You could be going to the book, right? The sports book?
yeah, I don't know. I'm probably after lunch today or around lunchtime.
Okay. All right. Well, that's awesome.
After I talk to you, I'm going to go back to bed. And I'm feeling a little out of it, but I'm here. And I knew
Well,
you didn't think I would do it. So
I appreciate tremendous. So does everybody. By the way. Everybody thinks it's really
I'm sure I'm looking kind of grubby. As you can tell, I don't have my glasses on, so I can't really tell.
No, you're fine. You look great as always.
Okay, well, I did brush my hair, so there's that.
Skyline looks great behind you. Yeah. Show us around. Are you just holding your phone?
I am.
Yeah, just kind of show us around. Can you show us around the room? Can you do that? Just like show like a little.
Well, I'm outside the hotel.
Okay.
Do you want me to try to walk through the casino? I won't be able to hear you that well.
Yeah,
but
fine.
if you want the view, and you can sacrifice some volume.
No, I'd like to see the casino. Yeah, you can talk, and it's fine. You just keep talking, and I'll shut up and let you talk. Yeah, that's fine.
All right. All right, hold on.
Nobody wants to hear me anyway especially when you're on. So
I disagree. Okay, hold on.
Oh, here we go. We're gonna get a casino tour, everybody. I hope you hung on for this. This is why our sponsors pay the money they do.
Okay.
Whoa! Hello.
All right, hold on. All right. So
walk into like a card game and stand over their shoulder. We'll see what the hand looks like.
I'm sure they would love that in Vegas. So the beautiful Venetian lobby is one of my favorites. We're gonna.
Yeah, Jen is a superstar. Everybody is. Jen, the influencer. Yep, here she goes.
Yeah.
Which hotel is it again?
The Venetian.
The Venetian. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, there we go. With those famous ceilings. Yeah.
It's really beautiful.
Yeah, it really is.
No, but hardly anybody's out. These poor people have to go to the airport. Bye.
You're just waving at strangers now.
Well, that's how I do.
Jen knows no stranger. That is wow. I forgot how beautiful that hotel.
It is gorgeous.
Casino tour coming up with Jen.
Okay, so we'll walk through the casino. I can't linger.
Oh, I understand.
I'm going to be accused of bad things.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Even Starbucks is closed here right now. Which I really wish it were open.
Was it? How was it
this
not
is one
open?
Of my favorite bars. Here's one of my favorite bars in the background that I like when it is actually open.
Okay. I see.
Okay. This is kind of fun, actually.
Yeah, this is fun. This is awesome. This is awesome.
Here's my favorite Starbucks closed, sadly.
Losers.
Can't really use it right now. Oh, I see humans
$27.
in there though, so that means it'll be open soon.
Okay. You see humans in there?
Actually, let's walk to the sports book.
We're going to the sports book first before the casino. Oh, no, she froze. We'll wait here just a second. Frozen Jen. She must have walked to an area. She may have to just reboot it. I'm going to hang on here. Let's see if we can get her back. Let's see if we can get her back here. Let me tell her she froze. You froze. Just as we were getting to the freaking sports book. You know what it is? It's not even going through. So what it is, she walked to an area that's like down in her. Yeah. See if somebody will go live with her. Yeah, I would love to. Would love to. She's in the green room, but she's still frozen. Oh, she's going to get back on, she says. Okay. I wonder if she got accosted because she was trying to go to the sports book and she had a phone. I hope not. It's been an eventful morning. We had the Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. Balboa brought a rabbit in the house. had to get that from him. And by the way, we've made up. You can't see him, but he's right over here in the chair beside me like he usually is. Yeah, he's right here. He's still proud of himself for what he accomplished, even though I didn't let him finish it off. I texted her that she froze. I think she realized she froze. Here she comes. She's coming back right now. Here we go. Boom.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay.
I don't know what happened. All right.
That's okay.
So we're doing a little slots walkthrough.
Okay.
Trying to give you more background. Okay. Headed towards.
You should play one of the slots for us real quick.
Which one? There's so many.
Whatever. I don't care.
Who wants to sponsor a slots visit?
Yeah.
Okay, getting ready to walk through Crapsland. Crap's dead right now.
You love Crapsland. That's your favorite.
I do love it, but nothing's going on right this second. I'll get you in the background. Crapsland dead. Some people playing poker down here. All right, we're going to go over to the sports book.
Okay. Hey, I see the dudes in the red vest back there, all the dealers. That looks cool.
Yeah, those are the guys we need to befriend. They can help you out a lot.
Yeah, I forgot how beautiful that place is. The Venetian. Wow.
Crazy. I didn't expect this, but it is waking you up a little bit to walk around with you.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Providing energy for you, Jen. That's what I try to do. That's what I try to do.
If you really wanted to bring the energy, you'd be here.
It's true. This is true. People are saying they'll Venmo you for the nickel slots if that's what it takes.
Okay, do it. I'm trying to remember. I'm either Gamecock Love or Go Gamecock, CAMECOS.
She's actually giving her Venmo right now.
I don't remember which. Take a look.
You still there?
Sportsbook.
There we go. Oh, Sportsbook. Cool. And now that is cool. Yeah, look at everything running across the top.
Okay, we're going to go see what's going on with the football.
That was cool. That was cool. Yeah.
I'm sure they have the over-under season totals. Okay, there's not anybody here to yell at me about having my phone out. So
good, losers. Wow, look at that. There's the big screen with all the odds. You got all the games on. Yeah, there you go.
Anybody see anything I should wager on?
That is pretty cool.
We got fight night coming up. UFC fight night might be fun. Let's see. Can you see it?
Yeah, UFC fight night in Vegas.
That might be fun. Super Bowl winner. Commanders. Not good. There's the Super Bowl.
Do you see it? Do you see any college football odds anywhere?
I'm looking. It's probably on the kiosk. Let's try that really fast. Again, there's no one watching me yelling at me yet. I might get yelled at any second.
I don't think you're going to get yelled at.
I don't know. They're real weird about stuff. There's some baseball stuff through college. Where's football?
Yeah, they are weird. They are weird about everything over there. Yeah.
They don't. Oh, there's college baseball. Clemson and Virginia Tech.
Who's
Is that
favorite?
today?
Yeah, who's favorite
Today
tonight?
at noon. Clemson.
Clemson's favorite? Yeah. Well, they lost last night. Tech got them last night, so we'll see.
Okay, well. All right. I'm going over here. So I'll turn this around so y'all can see. These are all the little paper printouts.
Yeah.
Of the different odds. I'm just trying to see if they have a college football. Here's College World Series.
That's pretty cool.
Just gonna see if any of our favorite schools are on that. Of course, Gamecocks are long gone out of that one.
No, this is true.
Unfortunately.
Was your driver excited to see you?
He was. I have a cute picture I'm gonna post. All right, I'm gonna get on the kiosk again to try to find. Sorry.
No, this is great. You're giving us a nice. No, this is cool, man. I don't think a lot of people expected to see this much of Vegas this morning. This is great.
Well, I'll do this like in the background while I'm trying to look up the college football here.
It's very cool. People got to go back to work today on a Friday here on the East Coast thinking, hey, Vegas is alive and kicking. Yeah.
Can you see that?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, so let's look at where's the season.
Isn't it crazy? So many bets are just there waiting to be made. That's wild. That's just wild.
There's like some of the opening games. UVA and Wolfpack. We got the Cavs by 3 right now.
Cavs are 3-point favorites. That's a game overseas, right?
Oh, sure. Yeah. I forgot about that. I think yes.
There's probably not. You can look it up, but I bet you there's not a line on the Tech VMI game.
Wait, what's the date on it?
I think it's the same weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they just have those 2 games that weekend so far. And then
I doubt there's a line on Tech VMI yet.
Yeah, there's not that much yet listed, but there's some stuff. I'm sure that they have the season over under somewhere. I'll have to dig around and try to find that.
Wayne says bet on South Carolina to win the national title, $3 billion to 1. You'll be a rich girl.
I usually like throw down $5 or something like that on just in case. All right,
well,
but
yeah.
You can get a better look.
That's awesome. And keep in mind, go ahead. No, go ahead.
That bar, that's a great little fun bar.
Yeah.
I've watched some SEC games there with other people.
And they will serve you all day. If you want to sit there and place wagers on games, college football Saturday, NFL Sunday, they will come up to you and serve you in whatever you want. You don't ever have to move except to go to the bathroom.
Well, some people don't even do that.
Well,
I mean, I've talked to one dude who's like, yeah, I have a catheter on right now. It's like, ooh, okay.
I don't know. That's not an opening line. No, we're not going to go have dinner. Yeah.
No.
Hey, baby, how are you? Welcome to Vegas, baby. I got a catheter right now.
I think he thought it would impress me with his devotion to sports, but
yeah, that's okay. Thanks.
Oh, this always makes me laugh. There's always this like little fake AI dealer lady. Do you see her in the background?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I see her. Yeah.
I mean, she's hot, but she's like, hey, you want to come gamble?
You want to come and bet with me?
Then they have all these weird slot machines. Like this one's kind of Gamecock themed, at least.
See, this is what you need. This is the one you need to play real quick. You need to play that one.
It's called Crazy Chickens.
Go. It's destiny. It's fate.
Oh, that was $100. I
Oh.
can't. I'll be back on Crazy Chickens later, though. And then you remember it's about the sports book.
That's just poor planning, Jen. That's just poor planning.
And then they have the cheaper games over here that are like the old school slots.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm good overview.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, absolutely.
I
Everybody got a
fulfilled my
nice view.
assignment.
Yeah, you did. Wow. Our reporter on the spot in the Venetian in Vegas, Jen, the game car girl. Yeah, that's great, man. That's great.
Now, I will tell you, I did play. I got sucked in one night here. I don't know if I can find it. I played the NFL slots game for about an hour. And that game is tight. Because there are suckers like me will be like, yay, I love Washington. I'm going to dump $300 into this machine and watch more losing occur.
Will you be back? Will you be back? By the way, do you go to different casinos or you stay in the one in the hotel?
When we really want to play craps, it's best to leave because the tables, there's a lower buy-in, usually other places. So when we go to the stadium Circa, hold on, I gotta get the name right. Stadium Swim at Circa. When we go there, that will be in like older Vegas, so there's a cheaper buy-in at the tables.
Okay.
So probably we'll do it there.
Gotcha. So give us a review again. Today is Bruno Mars Day.
Correct, which is my favorite because he always hires bands that have horns to play at his bar. And it's a small venue, all ages, really fun. Well, 21 and up ages, no kids. And really, really fun. We always get a VIP table and have bottle service and do it right. So I'm really, really excited about that.
On a scale of 1 to 5, how drunk will you be at 3 a.m. Vegas time on Saturday morning?
Well, the last set usually starts there around 1 a.m. And we're usually feeling pretty good around 1 a.m.
Yeah.
But I mean, the bands are so good. You know, like me as a music person, it's awesome. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll say enough that I might need a piece of pizza or like a little late night, something after that.
We're going to go, speaking of the Vegas theme, we're going to go over the under, which is probably like 3.5. I'm going to go over. I'm going to say like a 4.2.
On mine, 1 to 10?
1 to 5. I kept it
1 to
at 5.
Oh, okay, 1 to 5. All right, wait. Before you go.
Yeah. No, you're good.
I'm going to show you some cool stuff. I wanted to bring you down here to this little beautiful outdoor floral display they always do. That is really impressive. They have Wizard of Oz at the Sphere.
Yeah.
And they're doing like a little display around Wizard of Oz with the poppies. So here's the first.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Piece of it. And then there's this cool like reflection pool thing.
Oh, that's really cool.
But it's everywhere, like this big display, and they're actually fixing it right now and making some changes to it. Can you see the whole thing? So that's kind of fun. I mean, there's always stuff like this in Vegas that makes it fun to walk around. And
I know, yeah. You round a corner and you go, what is that? When did they do that? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then there's usually an accompanied little display at this corner. This is the entrance to Palazzo, which Venetian Palazzo are two different hotel units within the Venetian resort. And then they're connected by this big walkway. So you can see.
Yeah.
Like there's always these beautiful displays. This is one of my favorite steakhouses, Cut, which is very swanky, very expensive, very delicious. Great Manhattans. The best.
Oh, there we go. You're gonna be
love
hitting
the Manhattans.
You're gonna be hitting Cut this weekend, aren't you?
Oh, I love the Cut Manhattan. Please, more.
Get you a steak and some Manhattans. You're good to go. You are golden.
So, like upstairs, I don't know if you can see. There's like a big shopping area. That's where Louis Vuitton is, and the high-end shopping is up there.
Oh, okay.
A bit
Yeah.
other, but I'm not going to bore y'all with that. Okay, well, I think I've done pretty well for my
No, it's been outstanding. Yeah, the tour's been great.
4:15
No, you've been
wake-up
knocked it out.
call.
That's right. It's 4:00. It's 4:26 or 5:26 out there. So
Well, I woke up, I think it was 4:30, and I was like, I've just got to brush my hair, and then I'm going to put on some clothes. And
well, I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. It's been great. This is great. We never could pull this off in radio. The visual part adds so much to see everything and be reminded if people haven't been out there for a while or whatever, right? That's the thing.
it is really fun. I mean, like, even in the time, and I'm exhausted, but even in the time I've been up, I'm like, yes. So now you make me want to go get changed.
I know. I can see. Look how excited you are. I can see your energy has just exploded here.
I'm just walking around. Yeah. So I'm going to get changed for that 100. I guess I got to play Crazy Chickens next.
You've got to. Yeah. And if you win, I think you need to let us know so we can report it to the peeps.
Well, I think that's going to be next. And then I'm going to wait for Starbucks to open, get some caffeine going, and push through. That's what we do in Vegas.
That's what we do. Alexei, she says we do. She's now a patron. She's now a citizen, ladies and gentlemen, not just a patron.
I talked about me and my posse. They're going to be up soon, and they're going to be delighted I did not wake them up when I got up.
Yeah, now you're just ready to go for that. Look what we've done for you. Now you're ready to go to the day. Now you're going to get your coffee, and now you're just up. You're not going to go back to sleep. Now it's Vegas, for God's sakes. Come on.
Well, we have a cabana for later, and I can sleep in the cabana. So
correct. Sleep is the last thing anybody should worry about in Vegas. Come on.
Should I get an espresso martini?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe that should be next.
Everybody in chat giving you their praises, letting you know, as that how much they appreciated this. This is cool. This is really cool.
Okay, well, that's fun. I'm going to show you one more club here that I did not show you that I also like. It's called Juliet. So all these tables and little couchland nooks.
Yeah.
In there. Mm-hmm. I love all of that. It's real dark and moody at night.
Yeah, those are cool.
They usually give you an upcharge for the little nooks. Like if you have one of the couch nooks, you have to commit to spending $200 or something. It depends on the time of night what they charge. But it's fun. I mean, anywhere where you're going to sit down in Vegas, that's nice. You're going to pay.
You're going to pay, yeah.
To do it. So.
No, it's outstanding. That's outstanding. Well, cool. Well, thank you, my dear. That's great. Thanks
for hanging out with me, getting me out of bed.
Yeah, I got you out of bed. Now you're going to go make change. You're going to play the chicken slot. See what we did for you?
I am. I'm going to go play it right now. They're probably like, they're taking drink orders. The cocktail servers are going around the slots players and taking orders. So,
come on. It's breakfast time. Of course.
Well, that's what I was saying about this espresso martini. It's kind of breakfasty.
Then you're ready to go. You're set and ready to
go. Okay, I'm gonna go get changed.
All right, thank you.
I'm gonna go play.
Be safe. Have fun. Have a blast. I know you will, but you better take care of you, young lady.
Take care of what?
Take care of you.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll try my best. And I'll give you a little fortune frenzy background as I sign off.
All right. Be good. Thank you so much.
Okay.
I really appreciate it.
Love you.
Love you. Be safe. Be good. Safe.
Bye.
Bye. Jenny Game Cart Girl. How about that, folks? That's big time right there. Our field reporter. The first lady of BDST. All right. Great stuff today. Thanks, everybody in chat. All of our great sponsors. Thanks to the NRV Super Bowl, thanks to Lawson's Mobile Home Supply, Brandon at Top Shelf Apparel, thanks to Sundown Electric, the Ready Set Fund, Professional Door Incorporated, National Bank, member FDIC, the attorney Ryan Pry, our BDST fan question of the week, Field of Dreams, Victorious, Little River Heating and Air, presented every day by Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment, McClellan Chiropractic, Family Fencing. Thanks to everybody. And I hope everybody has a great weekend. And thanks to you, chat. You make it every day. Thanks to everybody who hit us up on Professional Door text line. Great conversations today and so much fun. Thanks to Will, to Mike, and, of course, Jen in Vegas, peeps. Can't beat it. Have a great weekend. We will resume on Monday. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like, and share. It goes a long way to help the channel. Just hitting that little like button on all the videos helps a lot. And take care, everybody. Enjoy your day.